We are rapidly approaching the beginning of Pro Tour weekend. In fact, we are mere hours away at this point from the keynote address given by James White, given at all of these big Tier 4 plus events, and this one could be giving us some more information about some upcoming product lines. And one thing I really want to see is the continuation of the Mastery Pack, because we are about to embark upon Mastery Pack Guardian. But there's some other classes that I would love to see gain Mastery Pack. So here are 3 classes that I think deserve an upcoming Mastery Pack, and hopefully we see one of these announced at this keynote tomorrow morning. Starting with none other than Mastery Pack Warrior. To me, there's 3 classes that really need an overhaul. They need their class identity to be padded by something like a Mastery Pack. Guardian, and that's exactly what we're getting. Brute, and technically Brute is getting some support in this upcoming Super Slam set, and Warrior. And that's the key piece, because I believe that the Warrior class identity has been just absolutely parasitically torn apart by other classes like Runeblade and more specifically nowadays, Assassin. I think those classes are taking bits and pieces every set from Warriors and just doing it better. And it leaves the Warrior class asking the question, why do I exist? To what purpose do I serve in this meta? Yes, I'm all about weapons and attack reactions, but attack reactions can be done better by Assassin, and more disruptively so, and weapons are just done by Runeblade because they can do split damage, and that's like better than just one thing. So it's just, what do you do as a Warrior player that's unique and like drawing people in enough to justify playing that over something really cool like Runeblade in Aurora or Vinset or Viserai or Chain or Assassin? Name all Assassins in any flavor of Arachne that you wish to name. That to me means that the Warrior class warrants one of these types of products, because how else do you really reinvigorate a class than this type of product, the Mastery Pack? And I think that's the ethos of this product. Reinvigorate a class via these new cards that we're going to, bring about with a Mastery Pack. But it's not the only class that deserves one of these products, and I'll tell you right now, I very much believe that there's a real chance that we get ourselves a Mastery Pack Necromancer. Here's the thing. I am of the belief that Necromancer is going to be a class that is supported in the Monarch 3 set. I think you can introduce it in the way that it was introduced via a really cool Pirate Necromancer in a really fun thematic set, but everybody knows that eventually a pure Necromancer or a Shadow Necromancer is in the cards. And if you are going to round out the Monarch storyline that we've been experiencing for the past few years, introducing a Necromancer and maybe even a Cleric could be a great way to do that and tell the story of these heroes in their climactic clash. And to support that class and to support that hero that could be coming down the pipeline, you can bring a bunch more Necromancer cards. I mean, if you just break down the numbers, Pirate, Necromancer are the 2 classes, because they're brand new, the 2 classes that have the least amount of class cards. So guess what? That would be a windmill slam dunk. Pump in more class cards, give people more opportunities to play with a new archetype and a new class, and then give yourselves a second version or a second hero that you can add in with a talent, not just Pirate Necromancer, not just a pure Necromancer that would come in the Mastery Pack, but then a third Shadow Necromancer when Monarch 3, the Threepening, comes out at the beginning of 2026. So that's 2 out of the 3 that I have on my mind, and I'm going to tell you right now, the third one is kind of also a no-brainer. Did you think we were going to avoid this? You know the answer if you know anything about what I'm about. Yes, that's right, pirates. Mastery Pack Pirate. Why would we not want that? The Pirate set has widely, and this is anecdotal, I get that, has widely been considered one of the best sets that has been released by Flesh and Blood thus far. Like, tell me anyone that has said that that has not been a banger set. High Seas clearly been recognized as one of the best sets, and it's not just from like the fans and the players of the game. James White looked at me and said, "This is the best thing I've ever created." If James White has felt that passionately about this set, you know there's going to be more coming. Now, it could be down the line. It could be way down the line, but here's a class that people clearly can embody. They can go and they can get pirate costumes. They can go and wear pirate outfits to pre-releases and to major events. This is a class that people can gravitate towards, especially if you make it fun and thematic. Getting gold, stealing gold, doing things with gold, treasure, high tide, low tide. There's so much that you could do with a pirate mastery pack that it just feels like a no-brainer. And it gives you another way to introduce another pirate to the game of Flesh and Blood. It gives you more ways to kind of pump different archetypes and different play styles into the existing heroes, the existing pirates. And honestly, the two other pirates besides Gravy Bones could probably use it, right? Already. They need direction to be built. Honestly, Puffin might be okay as is because the mechanologist class is what it is. But you're looking at Marlin, at least I was looking at Marlin, and I'm going, okay, I can basically play all ranger stuff and splash in like Conqueror of the High Seas, or I can play a very fun build of Harpoons, but it feels like it just a few cards short of being something really potent and powerful. And how do you fix that? Mastery Pack Pirate. So if you thought you were going to get away from that without me saying Mastery Pack Pirate, I mean, come on, you're kidding yourself. So those are 3 classes that I think could be receiving a Mastery Pack, and we could hear something as early as tomorrow morning, depending on where you are located in the world. We could hear something as early as that being announced at the keynote. I do think that we'll hear something about maybe the next Mastery Pack, that we are so close to this current one that it just makes sense for them to make an announcement about another Mastery Pack coming down the pipeline. But hey, if I'm off base here, let me know that in a comment below. And if there's a class that really needs this type of treatment, I want to know that too. Let me know that as well. We did just lose a Ranger out of the card pool, so maybe Ranger Mastery Pack and Riptide gets support and Marlin gets support. Maybe that's just the answer instead of Pirates, but I will always say Pirates over that. Heck, you could even argue Wizard deserves a Mastery Pack, but I think they might be kind of backing off of Wizards and kind of pushing more towards the Icelander thing. Nevertheless, hopefully Wizards do get some love, because right now it's basically just become like one style of Wizard is all combo and the other style is basically just stompy and I win with some arcane. Maybe that's the hero. If you enjoy this type of content and you like the new look of this type of video and you want to see more of this type of look, let me know that in a comment below as well. And as always, thanks for watching.